Hi guys, welcome back to GP Reactions, and I hope you're having a great weekend, and thanks for joining me on this pretty miserable Halloween Saturday the 31st of October. So continuing with my Halloween theme, I'm going to be now listening to a track by a group called the Adverts, and this was a song that was released in 1977 from the album Crossing the Red Sea with the Adverts. And this was a track that was released around 22nd of August 1977, and I think it peaked at about number 19 in the UK top 40. So I'm interested to kind of like have a listen to this, and I believe this is a track with lyrics. I'm not entirely sure whether I've ever heard this song before. The name does ring a bell, so I guess it's just kind of a case of waiting and seeing. So without further ado, this is the Adverts with Gary Gilmore's Eyes.
Bandages are whizzing in the light. The nurse is looking anxious and she's quivering with fright. I'm looking through Gary Gilmore's eyes. 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 The doctors are avoiding me, my vision is confused. I listen to my earphones and I catch the evening news. A murder has been killed and he donates his sight to science. I'm looked into a private ward, I realize that I must be looking through Gary Gilmore's eyes. Looking through Gary Gilmore's eyes. Looking through Gary Gilmore's eyes. Looking through Gary Gilmore's eyes.
I'm kind of loving the pace of it so far. It kind of seems like something to do with operations and stuff. I'll probably have to kind of do a kind of really quick 2-second research on this after, to see if I can make some sense of it.
Against the door, I close my lids and cross the eyes and wish to see no more. The eye receives a messages and sends them to the brain. No guarantee the stimuli must be perceived the same way. Looking through Gary Gilmore's eyes. 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 Gary don't need his eyes to see. Gary and his eyes have
Okay, short and sweet. That was the Adverts with Gary Gilmore's Eyes. 10 seconds, and I'm going to have a quick look at what this is possibly about. So Gary Gilmore was a criminal, and I think he was a career criminal. He was tried for a brutal double murder, and although he was going to be given a life sentence, he pleaded for the death penalty, which is kind of unusual. He actually pleaded the opposite way, to have a death penalty. I think he may have been shot, not entirely sure, but his last request was that they save his eyes or other organs, and that this is the premise of the song. It never actually happened, but he wanted his organs given over to science, and his eyes were, I think, the only kind of bits that he was guaranteed not to be kind of shot at, I suppose. So the premise of the song was that his eyes are there for transplant, and that's kind of really interesting. That and then the person who's kind of got his eyes is he realizes what he's got, and that they're not right, and he's kind of freaking out in his hospital. Um, but that's interesting because we've heard in the past of other people who've had organ transplants, and they've kind of their characters changed as a result. I don't think anyone's ever had an organ transplant from a killer or anything like that. So it's an interesting premise. Just like where we take on the characteristics of the deceased person through their organs. God only knows what they'd do if they could transplant brains and stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting song. And a lot of the lyrics, it just seemed like should have been a lot longer than 2 minutes, because there's quite a lot of lyrics. I'm lying in a hospital, I'm pinned against the bed, a stethoscope upon my heart, a hand against my head. They're peeling off the bandages. I'm wincing in the light. The nurse is looking anxious, and she's quivering in fright. So it's kind of alluding to that the nurse knows what the transplant was and where the eyes came from. The doctors are avoiding me. My vision is confused. I listen to my earphones and I catch the evening news. A murderer has been killed and he donates his sight to science. I'm locked inside a private ward. I realise I must be looking through Gary Gilmore's eyes. I smash the light in anger. I push the bed against the door. I close my lids across my eyes and wish to see no more. The eye receives the messages and sends them to the brain. No guarantee the stimuli must be perceived the same. So this is like the idea that even though he's only had the eyes from his killer, what he sees, he could see something of beauty, and immediately it's affecting the stimuli he's seeing is actually changing the way he's thinking because of the eyes. He's seeing everything through the eyes of a killer now. And maybe that's going to affect his behaviour. Maybe he'll become a killer. Oh my god. That's a really cool little record, that is. And I haven't actually heard this one before. And it's a great record. And it kind of fits in nicely with the idea of not only the kind of like being a murderer, but the idea that the eyes will actually promote somebody else to being a murderer as a result of having his transplant, which I think is which I think is more of a horror twist on it than the actual being a serial criminal and committing crime and eventually murders. So yeah, that's that, and then this is the horror side. So yeah, nice, sweet, a nice, short, enjoyable, horrific song about a pair of eyes. Hope you guys enjoy that. If you have any thoughts on it, please, as always, drop me a comment in the comments below. And as always, I am kind of interested to hear other songs by these bands, as they kind of seem pretty good. So yeah, if you've got any thoughts on that, again, in the comments below, would be very, very grateful. So yeah, till next time, take care of yourselves. And so yeah, what I was going to say, so yeah, if you want to subscribe, you're very welcome. Just click the little button and also have a new notification bell. And but yeah, till next time, guys, take care of yourselves and have a good weekend. And I'm going to have a few more actions for you soon.